Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes. Welcome to a discussion on the 2-5 chord progression. Today I'll be referring to the 6-string acoustic guitar in concert pitch. However, the theory behind everything we discuss applies equally to any musical instrument. So first of all, what is a chord? A chord is defined as 3 or more notes struck simultaneously. So this is a single note. This is 2 notes played together in harmony, but this is a chord. 3 notes struck at the same time. Now this is also a chord. That's a 4-note chord. This is a 5-note chord, and this is a 6-note chord. Now on this particular instrument, that's the maximum number of notes I can play simultaneously. It's a 6-string guitar. It's limited to 6 individual notes. If we were playing the grand piano, which has 88 separate keys on, and if we jumped up on the keyboard and lay flat on all the keys, we'd end up with a horrendous sound, like that multiplied by about 10, but we could play 88 notes at the same time. I don't recommend it. 3 or more notes defines a chord. So what's the 2-5 bit all about? Well, if we talk in the key of G major, G concert on the guitar, and we play a G major scale, we'll have these notes: G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. If we assign numbers to those notes rather than names, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So which note names were 2 and 5? G, A. A was the 2nd note in a G scale. B, C, D was the 5th note. So when in theory, music theory, we talk of a 2-5 progression, what we're talking about is the chords built off the note A as the 1st note in the chord and D as the 1st note in the chord, in the context of the key of G major. Now remember, G major has an F sharp in it. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. It's not F to G. That'd be a G 7th scale. But we're talking about a G major scale which requires the F sharp. So if you look at the diagram I've got on the screen now, and I've got A written below the staff, so the 5th string A on the guitar, that's on a line. It's got the little ledger lines, one line through the circle of the note and another above it, but that means that A is on a line. The simplest way to think of harmony and building a chord is if the 1st note is on a line, the next 2 notes also need to be on a line. So the next note up from A in the music stave, keeping it on a line, is actually C. And the next note up from C, keeping it on a line, is E. If we strike A, C and E together, and I'll play it up an octave here, we get the chord called A minor. Now if we do the same thing with D, and again we'll play D on the 4th string of the guitar, which puts it in the music stave in the space below the 1st line in music. So D's actually in a space. The next note up in a space in the key of G is F sharp. It's not F. Remember, G has an F sharp in its key signature. And the next note in a space up from F sharp in the key of G is A. So if we play D, F sharp and A together, we have a D major chord. So the 2-5 progression in the key of G takes us from a minor chord to a major chord. And I'm sure you've heard that chord change a million times in popular music, in all types of music. Now, finally for today, if we harmonise those same chords to 4 notes, so if we look on the screen again, we've now got A, C, E and G. Well, that's an A minor 7th chord. Which sounds quite different from an A minor chord. There's A minor, here's A minor 7. If we look at what happens when we add the fourth note in the harmony to the D major chord, well, we'll have a D, an F sharp, an A, and a C natural. Well, that's a D seventh chord. Again, quite different sounding to D major. D major is D7. So a 2-5 progression harmonised to 4-note chords turns A minor and D into A minor 7th to D7. It's a subtle change, but it's an interesting change, particularly if you play different voicings. In jazz style, A minor 7th, we'd play like this. We'd only play it as a 3-note chord. We'd deliberately leave out one of the notes. In this case, we'd leave out the E. So A, G and C is how jazz players play an A minor 7th chord. In D7, they play like that. So they're playing an A, an F sharp and a C. It doesn't have a D in it. That's one of the reasons why in jazz, playing less notes in the chord often lets, in the case of the guitar but also the piano, that instrument cut through more. If you've got all the screaming trumpets, trombones and saxophones, drums and bass in the background, the piano, if on the guitar you're going like this, one, you're sort of in the wrong band. The sound is more of a, folky, country, pop sound there. But if you're in a jazz style and go like this, you'll find that your chords cut through more. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. In the key of G major, a 2-5 progression is either A minor to D major if you're in a 3-note chord harmony, or A minor 7th to D7th if you expand that harmony up to 4 notes. Bye for now.